Good morning, everyone. Today is the day. My name is Matthew Wiswesser. The launch of my video, TacFit Kettlebell Spetsnaz 101, is today. So today, I'm going to give you a little preview of the type of training that I would do today, similar to what you're going to find in the 101 program. So we're going to get after it today. Just to give you a little bit of intro about myself, I'm a board certified and licensed athletic trainer. I've had the privilege of working professional sports, international sports, Division I athletes and sports, all the way down to high school and middle schools. Throughout my career, I've been able to train at the Federal Law Enforcement Training Center with the U.S. Marshals, Department of Justice, Homeland Security. I also am a Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu brown belt and instructor at my academy. So 10 years ago, I was introduced to TacFit via Scott Sunnan on a family vacation. The first program actually that I was introduced to was the TacFit Spetsnaz program, where Scott was beta testing it, and I had the privilege of running through all three programs back to back to back. So an hour long of working out with Scott as my introduction. First time using kettlebells, first time meeting Scott. So it was an experience. Throughout my TacFit career, I've held the title of U.S. Director. I am a TacFit team leader, and I've also done a presentation at the Arnold Schwarzenegger Fitness Festival on how TacFit works for injury prevention and how it translated over to my high school and dropped our injury rates through 33 to 88% throughout the 1 year that we implemented it. So without further ado, let's talk about our training program today. We are going to be doing a 90-second work, 30-second rest protocol. All right, so the way it's going to work out is we have 5 exercises. We're going to do exercise 1 for 90 seconds, 30 seconds off, move down to 2, same thing, 90 seconds of work, 30 seconds rest. Exercise 3, 4, 5, and then we're going to repeat that one more time. Exercise 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I'm going to be demoing it with you and go along with the workout. So if you forget where we're at, just look up at the screen and you'll see me doing it and we'll be good to go. All right, so our first exercise is going to be our deadlift. All right, once we do the warm-up and get into it before the workout, I'll go over all the coaching cues. So we have our deadlift, which is our first exercise. Our second exercise is going to be more of a mobility exercise, but we can turn it into a workout if we want. It's going to be our low lunge twist, which we can either do from kneeling or from a plank position, depending on where you're at for the day. Our third exercise is going to be our kneeling side press. And the way that we're going to split this one up today is we're going to do 45 seconds on the one arm, and then we're going to switch over and do 45 seconds on the other arm. All right. Our fourth exercise, again, a little bit more mobility in this one, is going to be our down dog series. So we have our traditional down dog, we have our chugging down dog, and we have the one that I prefer to do the most is our rotational down dog. But what I want you to focus on is wherever you need the mobility for the day, we're going to go to that level. I'll go over all 3 of the rounds or all 3 of the exercises as we get to it. Last but not least, our 5th exercise is going to be our windmill series. We have a regression and a progression to this exercise. So I'll show those to you depending on how stable your shoulders feel today or how your low back is feeling. Okay, so without further ado, let's get into the warm-up and then we'll start transitioning it into everything else. So to start with our warm-up, we're going to do our shoulder rolls. So what I want to look today is I'm going to hold my arm out to the side, and all from here I want to do is I want to roll my shoulder forward, and then I want to roll my shoulder back. So from the side view, what I'm looking to do is I just roll my shoulder forward, and then I want to pull back, and I want to roll my shoulder back. We're just going to keep going back and forth for a little bit as we warm up this shoulder joint. And then once my shoulder joint is warmed up, now I'm going to add my thumb into the mix. So I'm going to roll my shoulder forward, and from here I'm going to rotate my thumb the rest of the way through. From here I unwind my thumb, roll my shoulder back first, and then I can rotate my thumb the rest of the way. Unwind my thumb, unwind my shoulder. Again, shoulder forward first, lead with the thumb the rest of the way through. Unwind, shoulder back, thumb back. And we're just going to keep moving back and forth. A few more reps, and then we'll switch to the other side. Get that shoulder moving to this morning. Loosen it up. Good. Shake it out. Come over to the other side. So remember, I'm rolling shoulder forward first and then back. We just want to warm up the shoulder joint, and then we'll add that rest of that rotation into the mix. Good. Roll forward, roll back. Good. Keep the arm locked out. We want to exhale through any tension that we may be feeling. Good. Now let's add the thumb into the mix. Good. Roll the shoulder forward, thumb the rest of the way. Unwind the thumb, shoulder back, thumb back. Unwind the thumb, unwind the shoulder. Roll forward, add the thumb. Just work back and forth here. A few more reps. Again, if one side's a little bit tighter, just work on that one side a little bit more. Or if one side is a little bit more, just work on that one side. Good. All right. Now that our shoulders are nice and warmed up, we're going to go down to the ground. This one is called our wind remover. So what I want to do is I'm going to lay down. We have my legs out in front of me. Okay. From here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull one leg up, grab it to my chest, pull to my chest, and I'm going to pull to the outside. As I lock my bottom leg out, I pull outwards towards my ribs. So I come forward and then out to the side. So forward and out. I can either alternate legs, go to the other side, back and forth, or I can stay on the one side if I need more work. Just keep working this one side. We're just warming up the hips to get ready to start moving. Exhaling through any tension. Remember, pull up towards my ribs and then out to the outside. Kick away. Switch legs. Just a few more on each side. And again, if one side's a little bit tighter, just work that one side. So for me, my left side is just a little bit tighter, so I'm going to do a few more reps over here, see if we can loosen it up. Good. All right. Our next exercise is going to be our shin box series. So what we're going to do, we're going to add on as we work through this. So if you get to a level that you're stuck at, things are a little bit tighter, just stay there and do a few more reps there and then catch up if you want. If you don't have that mobility, don't worry. Just stay at whatever level that you can do comfortably. Okay. So what we're going to do is we're going to put our hands behind us, feet shoulder width apart, all right, chest up nice and tall. And we're just going to let our knees drop side to side. Good. Exhaling as they drop down. If I can get my knees all the way to the ground, great. If not, don't worry about it. I want to just try to maintain these sits bones on the ground. Good. Then from here, what we're going to do is as I drop my knees to the side, I'm going to take my hands off and just come up. Put my hands back down. Switch to the other side. Work back and forth here. If your hips are mobile enough, I want to try to do it without using my hands behind me and work back and forth. Again, if you need to put your hands down behind you, no shame in that. Sometimes what I'll do is I'll warm up, put my hands behind me, and as I feel more mobile, that's when I transition over. Okay, a few more. Good. So now what we're going to do is as I come up and come to the side, I'm going to rotate my belly button in line with the thigh that I'm facing towards. So it'd be my knees went to the right. I'm looking towards my right. Rotate my belly button in line with my right thigh. And I'm just going to put my hands out in front of me, and I'm going to drop my chest down. So what I'm trying to do is drop my forearms down and press back up. Trying to drive my rear butt cheek towards the ground still. Keeping good posture where I'm not rounding my back. I'm going to keep nice tall posture. Drop down and back up. Trying to loosen up those hips. And again, do about 5 to 10 on the one side. Then transition, go to the other side. Again, rotate belly button towards thigh. Hands out in front. Again, if you have a little bit more mobility, you can reach out a little bit further. If not, keep your hands shallow. Drop your forearms down. Back up. If you want, you're able to switch back and forth. So this way you're getting more shin box movements. That's also fine too. But normally I tend to find one side is a little bit tighter than the other. So what I like to do is spend more time on the one side that I need. Good. Exhaling as we drop our chest down. Good. All right. Now from here, what we're going to do is as I shin box to the other side, my knees went to the right. I'm taking my right hand. I'm going to post it out, elbow towards the ceiling. Now I'm going to take my left arm and I'm going to dive it through, palm up, through the opening that my arm created. And I'm just going to dive through, exhaling as I drop my left shoulder to the ground. Again, I could work 10 reps on the one side and then switch over. I can alternate back and forth, whatever you feel comfortable with. I prefer to stay on the one side. Exhaling as I dive through, looking behind me through that opening as my arm dives through, dropping my left shoulder to the ground. Switch over to the other side. Again, my knees went to the left, posting my left hand behind me, elbow towards the ceiling. I'm going to go palm up, and I'm going to run my forearm over my thigh and dive it through that window that my arm has created. So we're here posted. Take my right arm, drive it through as I drop my right shoulder down, looking back as I rotate, exhaling through. A few more reps. Exhale as we dive through. Good. All right, switch over to the other side. Now what we're going to do is we're going to do a bridge from this position. All right, so what I'm going to do is legs went to the right. I'm going to tuck my left toes so that my shoelaces go towards the ground. The top of my foot's going to be towards the ground. My right hand's going to post behind me, and I'm just going to lift my hips up. Trying to keep them square. Trying to keep everything square in front of me. All right, I don't want to rotate. I want to stay nice and square. I'm going to drop my hips down, lift my hips up. Exhaling, feeling any tension that we feel in the front of the hips, activating our glutes. Again, if you want, you could leave the foot here. Sometimes that causes a little bit of pain on the inside of the knee, though, so I prefer to point my toes away, using the top of my foot as my base. Again, driving up and down. After a few reps, let's switch over to the other side. All right, so remember, my knees went to the left. Post my left hand behind me. All right, my right arm can hang out for now. Post my right toes down and away. Lift my hips up. Again, I'm trying to focus on this right hip, using my left glutes to fire me up. Should feel a nice stretch along here. A few more reps, exhaling as we drive up. Perfect, beautiful. Okay, so that was just a quick warm up just to get us moving, get our glutes activated, get our hips loosened up, and our shoulders also. So today's workout. It's an interesting workout. We have some strength movements that we're going to do, but we also have a lot of mobility movements that we're going to try out. So for me, this is one of my personal favorites that I like to do. Between the amount of driving that I do to go to and from work, or some of my work is a lot of sitting. So I want to fix that chair-shaped position. So I want to strengthen muscles that aren't being activated throughout the day. And then I also want to mobilize anything that might be getting stuck down because I'm in that chair position. So we're going to do a core lift, like we're going to do a lift, and then mobility, lift, okay? So our first exercise is going to be our deadlift. So what we're looking to do with the deadlift is a hip hinge motion, okay? So I want to keep good, tall posture, okay? And all from here I'm going to do is I'm going to break at the hips. So I get feet shoulder width apart. I'm going to get a nice bend in the knees, all right? Relaxed stance here. And from here, all I'm going to do is push my hips backwards. And this is the motion here, is that I drive my hips back. My hands will just run down my shins. I stand back up, all the way up, squeeze the glutes at the top. I'm going to break the hips first, keep good tall posture, drop down, and back up. I want to keep my knees pressed out, keep my glutes activated as I do the lift. All right, now we're just add the kettlebell into it. So what we're looking to do is I'm going to have the kettlebell by my heels, all right, in line with my heels. This forces me to hip hinge down, reach behind me, All right. Then I'm going to fire forward. And then when I want to press the kettlebell back, as I drive my hips back, the kettlebell goes back. So from the side view, as I drop down, the kettlebell goes back, forces me to hip hinge, keeping good posture. And then from here, I place the kettlebell on the ground, fire up. I want to pull the shoulders back, keep everything in alignment. You can place the kettlebell down if you want, as long as you have the mobility, or you just go down as far as you can, but we're aiming for the heels as we drop down. Standing up nice and tall, squeezing the glutes at the top. Our next exercise is our low lunge twist. 2 different ways to do that. I'll show you the regression first, and then I'll show you the progression. So we're going to be in this quad position where we're down on our shins, toes on the ground, hands out in front of us with our shoulders stacked over our hands. From here, what we're going to do is I'm going to lift my one leg up and step it as close to my hand as possible. If I have to step up and wiggle my foot in, that's fine. From here, what we're going to do, we're going to leave the one foot up for 45 seconds, and I'm going to alternate my hands. So I'm going to lift my one hand up, drive my elbow towards the sky, lift my hand up then, back down, and now I'm going to switch sides. I'm going to lift my other hand up, driving my elbow up, and then my hand. So for me, this side's a little bit tighter, so I'm going to work this side a little bit more where I drive the elbow up and open the hand, and I'm just going to alternate back and forth. All right, at the halfway point, we'll switch feet, step up, and then from here again, I'm leaving my foot in the same place, and I'm just going to alternate my hands one at a time. Leading with the elbow first, palm towards us, and then open up the hand if you want. If not, just think about pulling a bow back and just opening up from here. Okay? So that's from the side view. It would be from here, step up. We're just going to work side to side. The progression for this would be to do it from a plank position. So plank, I step up, and now from here, I just do the same motion. From here, and then alternate side, hand to hand. At the halfway point, we step back, switch, step, or hand up and hand up. All right? So again, we're leaving our foot in the same position for half the workout and just rotating our hands. Halfway point, we switch feet, and then again, rotate hands for 45 seconds. Our third exercise is our kneeling side press. So what we're going to do, we're going to start with one leg down, one leg up, take my kettlebell, and come in, I'm going to rack it into our front rack position. From here, I'm going to bring it to our side rack position. So my elbow is tight to my front hip. I drag it around the side of my hip, so now it's towards my back pocket. From here, what I do is I drop my hand down out in front of me, all right? And then we're going to have my shoulders stacked over my wrist, and we're going to do a side press from here, where I drop my elbow down behind me into my back pocket, and then I press up, down, and up. So we're going to do half the workout on one side, then we're going to switch legs, all right? So right knee down, left foot up. I'm going to clean it into my front rack position here. All right, I'm going to bring it to a side rack position. Elbow is in front, drag it to the side. All right, post my right hand down on the ground, get my shoulder stacked over my hand. And from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to press up, press down. And I'm trying to drive the kettlebell up in a straight line, pulling my elbow down towards my back pocket, and press up and down. Pull it down, press it up, exhaling on the press. And again, we're going to do that for 45 seconds. Our fourth exercise is going to be our down dog position. Okay, so we have our traditional down dog. We're starting child's pose from here, lift up. I'm going to drive my chest towards my thighs from here. All right, and we can just hold down dog and work this position from here. I could also go into what I like to call a chugging down dog, where I'm going to be here, and I just drive one leg straight and bend the one knee on the opposite side, and then I switch. Drive that knee straight, trying to lock that leg out, driving the left heel to the ground as I bend my right knee. And I just switch back and forth. Again, I'm pressing off of my hands, driving my chest towards my thighs. All right. Or we have the third way to do it, which is our rotating down dog. So if you feel comfortable with all of those, what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my opposite hand. So I'm going to take my left hand. I'm going to reach to the outside of my right leg. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to pull myself through and look towards this armpit. Trying to pull myself through. I release, come back out, switch hands. Take my right hand to the outside of my calf. Look through, and I'm trying to look towards the armpit on the other side. Release, come back. Okay, good down dog position. Hand goes to the outside, not the inside, to the outside. If you can grab here, that's fine. If you can grab lower, grab even lower. Pull myself through, rotation. Exhale on that rotation. Come back, alternate back and forth. You can bounce back and forth between all three levels. So if you get tired of the rotation, sit down, shake your arms out, go into the chugging down dog. If that becomes tiring, just relax, shake the arms out, and just go into a regular down dog. And then you can get back into it. So it's a wave style, depending on how your arms feel, depending on where you need the movement. Sometimes if your hamstrings and calves are a little bit tight, stay with the first two. If that feels good and you want to work more rotation, work the rotating down dog. All right. Our fifth exercise is our windmill series. So this is absolutely one of my favorite exercises as like currently. So what we're going to do is we're going to go feet wider than shoulder width. I'm going to rotate one foot 90 degrees. So my left foot, I'm going to rotate 90 degrees. My right foot, I'm keeping that foot pointed forward, all right? Locking my right leg out, okay? I'm going to bend my left knee so that it's over my ankle, okay? I don't want to bend where it's this way. I want to keep the weight over my left foot. Now what the motion is I want to keep my right shoulder backwards, square with you guys, and I'm going to take my left hand, I'm going to do a side bend. All right, this is the motion that we're looking for without any kettlebell. Okay, and then at the halfway point, we would switch. Here, rotate over. I'm running my right hand down my right shin, keep my left shoulder back. Now we just add the kettlebell. So the regression is to keep the kettlebell in the bottom hand. So as I'm here, working my side bend, just drop down until the kettlebell touches, if it can. If not, that's fine. So it's a mobility stretch on the way down for the QL on the back side here left. And then it's a strengthening exercise as I stand back up. All right, coming back up square. If your shoulders are feeling pretty good, what we could do is we could hold the kettlebell overhead, but I have to keep a good shoulder pack position. So I don't want to be shrugged here. I want to be pulled down this way, okay? Keeping my bicep away from my ear, shoulder locked into place. And now from here, what I do is the same thing. Take that right hand, I'm going to run it down my shin as my left arm keeps the kettlebell up in the air. Stand up. Again, laterally bend as I drop down, come back up. For anyone who's pretty mobile, we can start to take this hand away now and get more mobility. So I can leave it in front of me and drop down and back up. Or I could tuck it behind me and drop down and back up. All right. And again, we're going to do one side for 45 seconds, and then we're going to do the other side for 45 seconds. With this protocol, 90 seconds is a long time to do just one side. And depending on the weight of your kettlebell, it could be a long time. So we're just going to split it in half just to be safe. If you have a lighter kettlebell, that just means you could do more reps. If you have a heavier kettlebell, that's fine. Go a little slower. Just make sure you're doing it with proper technique. All right. Slow and smooth is definitely the way to go. But again, this is a 25-pound kettlebell. If you only have a lighter weight one, that's fine. You would just do it a little bit quicker. So take it for whatever level you're at, and you'll feel that through the first round. Just make sure your technique is good. Second round, second time through, we can start to pick up the pace with it, depending on what you need for the day. So without further ado, let's get started. Remember, I'm doing it with you guys. So if you get lost on where we are, I'm going to say some coaching cues. I'm going to be doing the exercises with you. So we'll be in this together. So have no fear. All right. So let's grab a quick sip of water if you need it before we get started. I'll get the timer started. Remember, we're starting with our deadlifts. All right, so we got 15 seconds. Remember, we're doing a nice hip hinge motion. Start with the kettlebell even with our heels. Shake our arms out. Here we go, 5 seconds. Let's start loading up the kettlebell. Here we go, 3, 2, 1, go. Remember, pressing the kettlebell back towards our heels. Exhaling on the way up. Squeeze the glutes. Keep good spinal alignment. Shoulders back and packs down. Remember, if you can go quicker than me, that's fine also. Or slower, that's also fine. Remember, hinging at the hips. Drive the kettlebell back, push our butt back towards the wall behind us. Fire the hips forward on the stand up. Standing up nice and tall. Good, at the halfway point. Keep your pace if you can. Inhale through the nose. Exhale at the top. Try to touch the kettlebell to the ground depending on your mobility. Drive the kettlebell back. Fire the glutes at the top. Hold at the hip. Shoulders back. Good proper spinal alignment. Last 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Good. Put the kettlebell down safely. Slide it out of the way a little bit. Good. We're ready to get going now. All right. We have our low lunge series next. All right. I'm going to take it from down on the ground. All right. Shins down. Toes on the ground. Here we go. 10 seconds. Let's get our hands on the ground out in front of us. Shoulders stacked over hands. Let's step one foot up, whichever one that you need. 3, 2, 1, go. Rotate one hand up towards the ceiling. Place it back down. Rotate the other arm up towards the ceiling and back down. And we're just going to alternate hands. Exhaling as we drive up. Back and forth. Remember, if that shoulder's a little bit tight, just drive the elbow. You don't have to worry about opening the hand. Pretend like you're pulling back on a bowstring. And alternate a few more seconds. Then we're going to switch legs. Exhaling as you drive up. Good. Let's go ahead and switch legs. Step back. Step the other foot up. Good. Once we're in this position, good. Let's keep going back to alternating our hands now. Right hand up, right hand down. Left hand up, left hand down. Good. Exhaling as we drive up. Pulling on that bowstring, driving that elbow first, then open the hand if you can. If not, just focus on the bowstring, driving the elbow up. Good. Remember, we don't want to over-rotate. We just want to reach up towards the sky. Don't want to over-rotate back behind us. Keep the shoulders stacked over the wrist. 10 more seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Whew. All right, good. Focus on some recovery breathing. We have our kneeling side press next, so let's get our kettlebell again. Remember, we're going to start with one leg up. So I'm going to have my left knee down, right knee up. All right. I'm going to clean the kettlebell with my right hand. 10 seconds. Let's start getting in position. Clean it up. Front rack position, side rack position. Hand down, shoulder over hand. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. We're going to press up. Pull back down into our back pocket. Press up again. Pull it back down into our back pocket. We're going to work from here. Making sure we keep our shoulders stacked over our wrist. Go as slow or as fast as you need. Exhaling as we press up. A few more seconds, then we're going to switch. Good, let's safely come out, lift up, come down, clean it down, switch our feet, clean it back up. Good, rotate, back pocket, switch sides. Good, press. Good, driving the hand straight up, kettlebell straight up, pulling the kettlebell down into our back pocket, pressing up, pulling it down into our back pocket, controlling it on the way down, keeping our shoulders stacked over our wrist. Good shoulder alignment on both shoulders. 10 more seconds. 3, 2, 1, time. Slowly come out of it. Clean the kettlebell back down. Good. Now we have our down dog series. So remember, we just have regular down dog, chugging down dog, and rotating down dog. To start off, I'm going to start with regular down dog, work my way through the progressions. Again, if you get tired, just regress the movement. So here we go. We're going to get into our child's pose, 5 seconds. Drive our thighs or stomach towards our thighs. Good. Just going to do a check-in, see how I feel in down dog. Feels pretty good, so I'm going to start to go to chugging down dog, check in on my calves and my hamstrings. Again, trying to keep this stomach to thigh connection, pressing off of my hands back towards my heels. Remember, if your arms get tired, just come down, shake them out, press back up into it. All right, so now I'm going to go to rotating down dog. So I take my hand, opposite calf on the outside, pull myself through, exhale through, hand back down, other arm, rotate through, exhale, good. At the halfway point now, grab the outside of the calf, pull myself through, exhale as much as I can, go to the other side, grab through. We're just going to keep going back. Remember, if you get tired, just regress. Go back to chugging down dog or regular down dog. Let's work back and forth there. Exhale through any tension. Last 20 seconds. Try to pull myself deeper with every exhale. Here we go. Finish strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Good. Drop down. Good. Let's stand up. Grab our kettlebell. We got our windmill series. So to start, I'm going to keep the windmill, the kettlebell in my bottom hand of the windmill. Next round through, I'll go to the top hand. Work some of our recovery breathing. Shake everything out. Good. 10 seconds. So right leg is going to go 90 degrees. Kettlebell here. I'm going to drop my left shoulder is going to be pulled back. Left foot forward. Going to drop down, grab the kettlebell. Just work from here. Remember, I'm keeping my right knee stacked over my ankle. Left shoulder is being pulled back, driving my hips forward. Go as low as you should, not as low as you can. You'll loosen up as you do this, being able to get deeper and deeper as we go through. Exhale through any tension. 10 more seconds, and we're going to switch. Good, and let's switch over. So remember, switch our feet, 90 degrees on the one side, straight on the other side. Keep our top shoulder towards the sky. Switch hands, let the kettlebell stay nice and low. Again, if you're doing it, keep the kettlebell up. Switch back and forth. Good, making sure we exhale through any tension. Trying to go deeper and deeper as we go. Keep my hips forward. Right shoulder pulled back. Letting my left arm just go down my shin. Standing up straight every time. Last 10 seconds. Finish strong here. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Good. All right. Halfway done. Now that's easy. So remember, we're going back to the deadlifts. Everyone's been through this. So now you know what level to do it at, okay? I'm gonna pick it up a level and take it from there. So we got 15 seconds. So let's grab our kettlebell, put it in line with our heels. Long, slow, controlled exhales. Shake out. Here we go. 5 seconds. Kettlebell even with our heels. Sit back. Good position. Hinge at the hips. Good, and start. Remember, I'm keeping the knees pressed out, allowing myself to dive back through, driving the kettlebell towards my heels. Standing up nice and tall, squeezing my glutes on the way up. Exhale with the tension or the work. Shoulders pull back. Press the kettlebell back. Go as low as you should, not as low as you can. Coming up on the halfway point. Keep up this pace. Remember, hinge at the hips, fold at the hips, push the butt back towards the wall. Press the kettlebell back towards your heels. Keep the shoulders pulled back and down. Good shoulder pack position. Fine and good alignment. Finish strong here, last 15 seconds. Here we go. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Good. Finish through the round. Awesome. All right, let's move our kettlebell out of the way. We have our low lunge twist. So I'm going to take it from the plank position. Remember, our regression is here. Progression is from a plank position. All right, we're just keeping the one foot up the entire time, rotating our hands. Okay, here we go. 5 seconds. So let's get in position, whichever one you want to do. I'll take it from the plank. Good. Step our one foot up. Now let's rotate hands. Remember, I'm still pulling that bowstring and then opening up the hand if I can. Exhaling through any tension. Open up. Back and forth. If one side is a little bit worse than the other, just work that one side so I can come up and down. Just on this one side, if that needs a little bit more mobility. And then check in with the other side again. Back and forth. Remember, driving the elbow up, open the hand up if you can. If not, it's all about that elbow drive. Switching back and forth. Good, let's step down. Good, switch legs. Now alternate back and forth. Remember, we're driving the elbow up first and then open the hand if we can. Pulling that bowstring. Switching side to side. Feet stay in place. Rotating our hand. If you're feeling pretty good, we can pick up the pace a little bit. If you need a little bit more mobility, take your time. Exhale through any work. Take it for whatever level that you need. Back and forth. Last 15 seconds here. Finish strong. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Good. I don't know about you guys. I'm feeling pretty mobile right now, though. All right. Third exercise, our kneeling side press. So remember, one foot's going to be stepped up. The other knee's on the ground. I'm going to clean the kettlebell up with the same side hand of the foot that's up. So 10 seconds. Let's rack it. Front rack position. Bring it to our side rack position here. Hand down on the ground. Shoulder over hand. Here we go. 3, 2, 1, go. We're pressing up. Pull down. Press up. And pull it down into our back pocket. That's it. Exhaling with the press. You can inhale through the nose. Inhale through the nose. Short, sharp exhale. Good. Keep the shoulder stacked over the wrist. Pull the top elbow down into your back pocket. Keep my shoulders stacked in line with each other. Good, one more, and then let's switch. Come out, switch over to the other side. Clean the kettlebell up, side rack position, hand down. Good, press up. Shoulder over wrist on the bottom hand. Top shoulder in line with the bottom shoulder. Pull my elbow down of the top arm to my back pocket, pressing up. Good, last 20 seconds, keep working. 10 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Come out of it safely. Front rack position. Clean it down. Good. Push it out of the way. Remember, we have our rotating down dog series again. So we just have regular down dog, chugging down dog, and our rotating down dog. Take it for whatever level you need. Shake the arms out. Remember, you can play with each level. You can bounce up and down, whatever you need. Here we go. 5 seconds. Let's start getting in position. All right. 3, 2, 1, go. Trying to get my chest to thighs, pressing back off my hands. Just checking in with down dog to see where I'm at. Quick chugging down dog. Starting to feel much better than the first round. Okay, let's go through with some rotating down dog. Good. Exhale as we pull ourselves through. Switch back and forth. Try to go a little deeper each time. At the end of the exhale, come out of the stretch. Try to grab lower and lower on my ankle as I can on the back of my calf. Good, halfway point. Remember, I'm reaching to the outside of my leg. And if we get tired, we just drop down, regress a level, go back to chugging down dog. We go back to regular down dog. Good, whenever you feel ready, come back into rotating down dog. Exhaling as I pull myself through. And the exhale, I come out, go to the other side. That's it. Last 15 seconds here. Finish strong. Long, slow, controlled exhale. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time. Good. Drop our knees down. Shake out. Last exercise. Here we go. My favorite. The windmill series. So remember, you can keep the kettlebell down on the ground, or we can take it to the top arm, but you have to keep a good shoulder pack position. So here we go. 90 degrees with the front leg. Bend it. Back leg. Pointed towards the camera. Locked out. Press the kettlebell up. Keep a good shoulder pack position. We're just going to drop down and back up. Keeping that shoulder in good shoulder pack position, nice and stable. Again, if your shoulder's not that stable or the weight's too heavy, just drop it down into the bottom arm. Same benefit. We just take out the shoulder stability aspect of it. Exhale with any tension. Keeping our top shoulder pulled back. Slow and smooth, dropping as low as I can get. And as you can see, I'm getting a little bit lower every rep. That's what I want. Just try to improve my mobility a little bit at a time as I go through. Good, last one, and then let's switch sides. Good, switch hands, back up, switch our feet. Good, keep our shoulder pulled back. Keep our head forward. Don't look up at the kettlebell. Keep the neck in line with the shoulders. Good, so for me, the side's a little bit tighter. Back up. Try to get a little bit better, a little deeper every time. The last 15 seconds here. Keep that top shoulder nice and stacked. Shoulder pack position. Exhaling with any tension. Yeah, this is the depth that I want. Now it's a good check-in. Good, 3, 2, 1. Time. Good, come out of it. Woo. Woo. Great stuff, everyone. Good job. Round of applause all the way around. Awesome. So for me, if I'm sitting a lot, doing anything like that, this for me is a good program, a good workout where I'm still doing some strength training. I still do get some mobility within the workout where I can make it a little bit more cardio if I need to, or I could just do a check-in and work my mobility for what it is. So this is one of my favorites. It's a go-to for me. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Let's get into our cool down though, all right? Not being good that we just did all this work. We got to restore our resting length of our muscles back down. So we have our straddle split, or a split straddle for that matter, our frog series and our pigeon series, okay? We'll do 2 minutes on each one, and then we'll be done with everything, okay? So here we go. What we're going to do is for our split straddle, we are going to start with our feet wide like this, all right? If you feel more comfortable to tuck it in, that's fine also, okay? So whatever side I'm going to lean to, I drop that forearm down, okay? And again, from here, what I'm going to do is I'm going to rotate my opposite shoulder up towards the sky. So I drop my left forearm down. I like to put my thumb under my calf because that'll help me rotate my right shoulder towards the sky. And from here, what I'm going to do with my right hand is I'm just going to reach towards my toes, all right? But I have to make sure I keep my shoulder back, all right? The rotation this way is what's going to cause the stretch. I don't want to cave in from here. Now on my left foot, I'm pulling my left toes towards my face, squeezing my left quad, trying to drive my calf into the ground to lift my heel up. I'm just hanging out here. I don't want to stretch to the point that I make faces. I want to get a little bit of tension, and I want to work my breathing from here. So I just want to get a nice, slow, long exhale. And I want to feel the tension dissipate. And as that tension dissipates, I just drop in a little bit deeper. Again, don't force the stretch because you're not going to win that battle with your body. Just get a little bit of tension. Focus on your breathing. Natural inhale through the nose. Long, slow, controlled exhale out of the mouth. Keeping that top shoulder pulled back, and then get a little side bend from there. Using the arm that's on the bottom to help rotate us through. Remember, I'm still pulling the toes towards me, squeezing the left quad, driving that calf into the ground to lift the heel up. Remember, you shouldn't have to come out of the stretch. If you come out of the stretch, you're stretching too hard. Good, let's slowly unwind out of it. Go ahead and switch legs. All right, so I'm going to hold my right leg out, tuck my left leg in. I'm going to drop my right arm down. All right, I'm going to pull my left shoulder back towards the sky. All right, pulling my right toes towards me, squeezing my right quad, driving my right calf into the ground, lifting that heel up. That left arm is going to stay back. Then I do a nice little side bend. And for me, my left side is significantly tighter than the other side was. So I just need to focus. Again, I'm not forcing the stretch where I have to come out of it. I just get a little bit of tension there. Just work on my exhale. I can feel it start to loosen up a little bit, and then I just add a little bit more tension. Slowly feel it loosen up, and I just sink a little bit deeper into the stretch, adding just a little bit more tension, not so that it causes me to come out, just so that I can feel that tension and work on my exhales. Good, 1 more minute. Roll that left shoulder back, or the top shoulder for that matter. Roll it back and do a side bend. Try to sink deeper and deeper into the stretch. Just try to get as long and slow of an exhale as possible. Try to drop our heart rate back down. 20 more seconds. Good, and slowly unwind, come out of it. Good. All right, our next exercise is going to be our frog. So we're going to start on our shins. What I do from here is I'm going to spread my feet out. So knees wide. And then from here, what I want is I want to point my toes out. Okay? And I want my foot in line with my knee. So it's a straight line. And then from here, what I do is I just sit back. And I just let it sag back using my hands to press back. You go knees wider if you need it. And again, I'm just going to work my exhales slow and smooth. And as I feel that tension release in my groin, I just sag back a little bit more. Again, if I have to come out of the stretch, I'm stretching too hard. So use your hands to modulate how far you push yourself back. Working our exhales. One minute, natural inhale through the nose. Long, slow, controlled exhale. Remember, we could go knees wider or we could push back deeper, depending on what you need or what you can do. Natural inhale through the nose. Long, slow, controlled exhale out of the mouth. Two benefits: getting our muscles to relax, lowering our heart rate back down to normal. Good. Slowly walk out of it. Come forward, bring your knees in. Good. Now we're going to go to pigeon pose. So what I'm going to do from the same position, all I'm going to do is I'm just going to kick one leg back. All right, take my toes off the ground, foot flat, just kick one leg back. And now what I do with this back leg is I can either keep walking it backwards or I can walk it towards the side. So do it from the front position. So if I'm here, the leg in front, I don't want to lift this leg up. I want to keep it there. And I'm going to move my back leg around in order to get to whatever position I can get to. Okay? As long as this front leg doesn't slide in, because this will happen, and then I just end up chasing it around. So leave it for wherever it is, stretch back, and then over to whatever position before this foot starts to creep back in. Take the same side hand, pin it down. And we're just going to hang out here in pigeon pose. Now what we could do from here, now that we're in this, is you can start to rock side to side a little bit and feel where you need that tension. Sometimes it's out here a little bit. Sometimes I can drop this way. You can play with your chest position too. So I can drop my chest down. That hits a little bit more in this glute. If I come up a little bit more, it hits the front hip on this side. So take it for wherever you're at, wherever you need. Don't be afraid to move around a little bit. See if you can hit different spots. And again, where I feel it's going to be different from you, depending on what your needs are and what your mobility restrictions are. For anyone who's super mobile, we could start to rotate. We could add some of these rotations in, depending on how good and how mobile you feel. Sometimes we'll hang out here. But again, take it for whatever you need. And you can, if you can sink back a little further, as you work your exhales, you can walk that leg over and over again. And again, hang out. Good. Let's take that back leg and let's pull it up. Good. Let's tuck that other leg in. Let's go ahead and switch sides. So switch legs. So keep that one leg up, slide the other leg back. You're going to go back and around to whatever point that you need it until this front foot starts to go. So right there for me. Drop down. Now we're just hanging out here. Working on my exhales. Once I feel that tension dissipate, I just walk into the stretch a little bit deeper. I could either go back or I could walk to the side a little bit. I know the outside of my hip is a little bit tighter, so I'm going to walk to the side instead of back. Good. Work your exhale. Feel that tension dissipate. Go a little deeper into that stretch. Again, don't force it. Feel the body relax. we can start also playing with what we're doing from here. So remember, we can add some rotations here if we want. You can play with your chest position, drop it down, lift it up. All right. Play around. We can go side to side this way. Move around. Feel where you feel the tension. Just hang out there for a little bit. Work a couple exhales. Feel the tension dissipate. Natural inhale through the nose. Long, slow, controlled exhale. Once you feel that tension dissipate, sag into the stretch a little bit deeper or find a new spot. A few more seconds. Good. Let's slowly start to bring that back leg back up. Come out of it. And that is our cool down. Great job, everyone. Just a couple of announcements. Remember, every Wednesday and Saturday, we run these classes. Normally, it's 10 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. We made the exception this week so that I could teach the class. So thank you for everyone who got to show up and come. If you guys want to find me on social media, my Facebook name is Matt Wiss, W-I-S. My Instagram is Bandicoot Crash, if you want to find me on there. And the most important announcement of all, my Kettlebell Spetsnaz 101 program is being released today on the TACFit website. Keep checking back until you see the release time for it. But thank you, everyone, for coming. I had so much fun. Please check the TACFit website for my new program, Kettlebell Spetsnaz 101. Hope everyone had fun. Thank you. See you guys soon.